Morning, friends, and welcome to a walk far away from the places where I usually walk. We are in the outskirts of Tromsø, which is a city in northern Norway. In fact, it's the biggest city outside of Russia, north of the polar circle. And this place is called Ersfjord. I probably did not pronounce that right, but anyway, it's early in the morning, or not terribly early, but yeah, almost 8 o'clock. It's 8 degrees, and I'm gonna go on a little hike up this mountain. There's a hiking trail here that goes, I believe, all the way up to one of the peaks here. But that takes 4 to 6 hours. And unfortunately my time is kind of limited. So instead of rambling, I will start walking. And my plan is to walk for maybe half an hour or so today. So we'll go up for a while, enjoy the views, and then head back down, and hopefully I can show you also the area around the shore here. That looks like a cell phone tower. This is not a live stream, but if it was, I believe signal should be quite good. So I'm filming this in the middle of September. And as you can see, it's still pretty green here. This is, of course, the Arctic. So the winters here are pretty cold and harsh. I've been here once before, that was in March. And at that time, all these peaks were just covered in snow. It was a very beautiful sight. It's a very beautiful sight now as well, but yeah, quite different. And of course, being so far up north means that you can easily see northern lights or aurora around here. And that's something we enjoyed. This is our third day here this time, but my wife has been here for several times before, and I've been here once before. And yeah, the aurora is the big attraction for her and many other people coming here for tourism. And Tromsø, yeah, has a population of about 50,000 people, I believe, or 70,000 maybe even. So, you know, it's not a huge city, but it's big by Arctic standards. And there's also a pretty big university in Tromsø, which means that there are a lot of students, which means that there's a lot of culture, making it a very exciting place actually, despite its size. But look at this view, wow. And we're just starting out. I mean, the landscapes around here are some of the most beautiful I've ever seen in my life. I hope that this little video will make it justice. Probably not, but hey, it's the best I can do. So I believe we're heading up here. I'm just wearing regular sneakers, so not the best hiking gear, but at least it's not wet and muddy, so I believe we can do this. Tromsø is that way. Can't see it from here. This is about 15-20 minutes drive from the city center. We are actually staying at an Airbnb down here at the fjord. There's also a very nice little coffee shop that has delicious carrot cakes. We've been there both yesterday and the day before yesterday. We'll probably go again today. This is our last night here, by the way. We're moving to a different location for 2 more nights before going back to Sweden. And of course my stamina is a joke, so I'm sorry about that. But this is a pretty steep climb, and now it seems like I might be having some gimbal issues. That's not good. Wow, just wow. Can you see my shadow? I was actually a little bit surprised when we got here. I didn't expect it to be this green this late in the year, but just a few days before we arrived we actually read in the news that Tromsø recently, like a week ago, recorded its hottest day ever in September. It was over 20 degrees, which is very unusual for a place this far north. Now it's getting a little bit cooler. Next week it will be like single digits, and of course I'm Swedish, so I'm talking to you in Celsius. But yeah, the coming days are going to be much colder. Today it's still going to be relatively warm, like 13 degrees is not bad for being north of the Arctic Circle in September. Wow. Just don't know what else to say. It's so beautiful. And so quiet. the sound of some birds down there, maybe. I don't know if you can see them, but that's about it. I wish I could just spend the whole day climbing all the way up, but unfortunately my family is kind of waiting for me. My daughter wants to be taken to some more child-friendly spots. But yeah, I will continue up a little bit further, maybe up to that tower there, and then I will head back down and show you a little bit of the area down by the water as well. So a little morning mini hike. Oops, I actually lost my way a little bit there. I should stick to the trails. For those of you who wonder, we actually flew here, which is not like, that's probably no surprise because that's basically the only way to get here, either by airplane or by boat. One-way flight from Stockholm takes about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So yeah, not too far. So we reached the tower. Ooh, here it's a bit windy. Not sure if you can hear that. But the view is just spectacular. Playing football this early on a Sunday. Looks pretty quiet, but there were actually some people playing there last night. Whew. Okay, let me catch my breath a little bit. I'm like, for those of you who know me and who has followed my channel, basically since moving to Sweden, I have not been walking nearly as much as I used to back in Japan. So my stamina is even worse. It was bad when I was living in Japan, it's even worse now. I need to do something about that soon. But for now, let's take a little break and just enjoy the stunning view here. view from up there must be truly amazing. But this isn't bad either. There's actually quite a lot of Airbnbs around here. What many people do is like they build the basement so that they have like 1 or 2 extra apartments and they rent those out on Airbnb, which seems pretty smart if you ask me. And the peak travel season to come here is actually, well, the winter, of course, because during the winter you have a few weeks where the sun doesn't go over the horizon at all, which means that you have plenty of time to watch the northern lights. But those who are familiar with northern lights usually say that September and March are the best months, because the winter is quite harsh. It's very cold, and it's also so beautiful when the sun is up, and you can enjoy the nature when it's like this as well. So September and March are good because then you get the best of both worlds, and also the weather is often clear during those times, meaning that it's relatively easy to catch a glimpse of the northern lights. And the last couple of weeks it's actually been a lot of solar activity, so the northern lights have been very, very strong. Last night was unfortunately a bit cloudy, but we could still see the lights dancing through the gaps in the clouds. But I think like a week or 2 ago it was like really, really good here. Okay, let's continue working our way down by the trail. And there's also a lot of reindeers around here. This time of the year they tend to be a little bit higher up in the mountains, but as it gets colder and the vegetation kind of dies down from the upper parts of the mountains, then they come down. So when we came here in March there were lots of reindeer that we could see like around ground level. This time we've only seen one since we came here 3 days ago. But we haven't been up in the mountains, so. Ooh, it's quite steep here. Need to be a little bit careful not to fall. The days are still pretty long, by the way. Sunrise is like 5 in the morning and sunset is like 7:30 in the evening this time of the year. But the days shrink really rapidly, and yeah, but well, I guess it's September now, so 3 more months until the dark time begins, which I believe is around, yeah, over Christmas and New Year's. Maybe a little bit earlier, not sure. I've never been here to experience that myself. Would love to do it though. There's actually a lot of events happening in the city during that time, just because it's a little bit too sad and boring otherwise, maybe, so people need other ways of entertaining themselves. Unless you're one of those Northern Lights hunting people, of course, then you just embrace the darkness and spend a lot of time outdoors anyway. Actually, we came, like I said, we came here like 2018 in March, and that trip we were here for a week. There were lots of Northern Lights every night, and I believe we actually came to this area and that I took some pretty nice photos of the view with the fjord and the village below and some Northern Lights being reflected in the water. I'll see if I can find those photos in the archive and post them some way. So check out the video description. That time I believe I was traveling with a digital medium format camera, so I was pretty serious about taking photos. And I got some really nice shots too. Oh, and by the way, I can share a little bit of private news as well, in case there are some regular viewers of my channel watching this video. I actually finally managed to get a driving license. I got it just the day before we left for this trip, and I was really trying hard to get it before we left so that I could drive while here. But because you are allowed to drive as soon as you pass the final exam. However, that only applies to within Sweden. It takes about 5 days to get the physical driving license card, which would allow me to drive basically in most countries, including Norway. But unfortunately, that did not arrive before we left. So I'm a little bit bummed out. It would be so much fun to drive around the roads here and stop at all the viewpoints, but instead my wife now has to be the solo driver for this trip again. But hopefully that's for the last time. Next trip we go on, I should be able to do some driving as well. I have no idea if I'm walking the correct way now. It's not the same way as I took when I went here, but hopefully this path will also take us down to sea level. Will it? Maybe this is kind of like a dead end. I wonder if it continues in here. Looks like it does, yeah. Let's see where this path will take us. Oh, there's a fireplace here. Maybe someone did a little bit of barbecue, but it looks like I won't be able to go down this way. So, yay, we got lost, I guess. let's head back. Sure, it doesn't look like there's any other easy to walk path. Maybe I could walk down here, but let's not take any wild guesses. I'll just head back and follow the main path. I think that's easier. Maybe here. It looks like someone else have walked here. Might be possible to get down this way. Interesting flowers or whatever they are. Oh, and here's someone's home. Sorry. So I might just want to show you this, just so that you get a sense of where we are. Can you see my screen? Let's see what's the best way of... There we go. So we are here. So let me zoom out a little bit. So here's Sweden. So we're actually further north than the northernmost point of Sweden. So we're pretty far up, but of course Norway doesn't end here. They also have these islands, which I really hope I can visit one day. Svalbard, which is, I believe, this town, Longyearbyen, has the northernmost international airport in the world. Up over here. Not sure if I'm wrong. There might be direct flights from Oslo, but I'm not sure. Yeah, because of the landscapes here in northern Norway, it's a lot of mountains, lots of deep fjords. The infrastructure is really good. As you can see here, the quality of this road is not too bad. And most of the small towns and villages are connected by roads, but if you're going longer distances, usually you have to fly. So there's quite a lot of air traffic in this part of the world, despite it being so remote and sparsely populated. But yeah, there's no train going to Tromsø, for example, so it's either road or plane. But of course Norway is a very rich country, so they've spent a lot of money on building some truly spectacular roads along the entire coastline, and tunnels and whatnot, connecting all the communities around the fjords. But yeah, if you're going even further north than here, then you probably have to fly. As you can see, the houses they look kind of humble. They're big compared to in Japan, but they're pretty humble, like mostly wooden structures. But I think they have pretty good insulation, because they're really warm and comfortable even in the winter. People have been living up here for quite a long time, so they should know a few things about how to survive this harsh climate. And yeah, coming from Japan, like, the land sizes here are just incredible. Like, on the same plot of land where there's one house here, you would probably find like 20 houses if it were in Tokyo. So obviously the density is quite different. But I think this is a pretty amazing place. Hopefully I can do another video while I'm here, showing you the city center in Tromsø as well, because that's way more urban, of course. But yeah, if I had a chance, if someone offered me a job around here, I would probably take it and try what life would be in a place like this, because I think it's pretty good. We're getting closer to the waterfront. This house looks like it's brand new, and wow, they have some pretty nice panorama windows. Sitting there with a cup of coffee and watching the northern lights reflected in the ocean or in the fjord. I can think of worse ways to spend a Friday night. And yeah, it's very, very quiet. I believe that's because it's a Sunday. If this was on a weekday, we would probably see quite a lot of traffic on this road, because this is the only road that connects. There's a few more communities even further out here, and I think a lot of people drive into central Tromsø for work every day. Ersfjordbotn. Here's a bus stop. This is what a bus stop north of the polar circle looks like. There are buses here as well, linking this place with central Tromsø. So it's actually possible to get here without a car. But my wife came here for the first time before I met her, and that time she didn't have a car, a rental car, so she actually came here by bus. And she said it was doable, but there's like only one bus per hour, so. Oh, and another little thing we can do to make those of you who are familiar viewers of my channel a little bit happy. We can have a look at this playground. It's actually a little local school here. It says no photo, but only Monday to Friday between 7 to 17. So I believe at this time of day it's perfectly fine to go in here. I don't think I'm invading someone else's property or privacy by doing so. So yeah, playground. So I usually give the playgrounds in Tokyo a sadness rating because Tokyo has so many sad playgrounds. But this, I believe, on the Tokyo Explorer sadness rating scale for playgrounds would get the lowest possible score. I don't think this place is sad at all. I mean, an empty playground without any children playing is always a bit sad, but in terms of, you know, environment, things to do, views. My daughter did actually ride this little thing yesterday morning, and yeah, what do you call this? Ropeway? I don't know. Anyway, the view is pretty good, if you ask me. And then you can continue down even further here to pick some seashells. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little mini hike in Ersfjord outside of Tromsø, up in northern Norway, north of the polar circle. I know that I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm so happy I managed to get my butt out of the bed early this morning before the rest of the family woke up in order to shoot this little video for you. But I believe I have to wave goodbye to you here, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon. I'll record another video in Tromsø, maybe as early as later today if everything goes well. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you. Bye bye. Hej då. Auf Wiedersehen und Matane. Tschüss.